They don't know if it was during the Thailand trip or, there's also news coming out of Jon Jones having a little bit more legal trouble with a hit and run. So they don't know. Even Dana White mentioned that he said, I don't know if it's that. I don't know what it is. But
them Thailand ladyboys got him convinced to move back to Thailand. Come on over, baby boy.
That's the wrong kind of heavyweight sparring,
Just stay over here. No, look, I don't think anyone knows what's going through Jon's mind. Everyone wants to look. You're gonna hear a lot of people say that he's afraid of Tom Aspinall, that he ducked Tom Aspinall. Those are everyone that's just looking for clicks. And look, in moments I haven't said anything like that, but I mean I've said things knowing that it would get clicks. No, just knowing. And like, if you have a show, you're going to say that. You're going to say something along those lines. Let's be honest. Jon Jones, he's not that guy. He's not that guy. He's not afraid to fight anyone. Maybe the motivation there is not there. It's not there anymore for him. And he knows that. It's hard to get up for these guys. They're all younger. He knows that. What do they call that in the pro wrestling world when you let someone win over you?
Oh, you put him over.
Yeah, you put him over. He's not allowed. Like he's not allowing any young buck. He's not going to put over any young buck. He's not going to do it.
He's pulling a Hulk Hogan move.
Yeah, his ego is so big, so large. You can see the way he carries himself. You can see the things that he gets in troubles for. Like he's got a huge ego, which, in the fight world, he can have. But in the real world, it's not suiting him well. But the bottom line is that he's not afraid to fight Tom Aspinall. As much as I know that's a storyline, I know you're gonna see all these clicks of people on Twitter and on all these other people that are running news sites and other podcasts. He's definitely not afraid to fight him. He's not. That's just not Jon. Jon knows what he's good at. He's just not motivated, and I understand it, man. There's guys that I was just not motivated to fight, and I've seen other fighters just be like top world-class fighters going like, man, this ain't the guy that I want to fight. Like, and they just had bad performances, and they don't want to have that. Jon has been doing this for so long, and in no way, and all you guys know if you listen to this podcast, I'm not a Jon Jones fan at all. Okay, but the bottom line is, I'm not going to sit here and blow sunshine up your ass and tell you he's afraid of fucking Tom Aspinall. I'm a Tom Aspinall huge fan. I said that when he first came in. This kid is going to be phenomenal, and I even put out a tweet today basically saying like, look, now he can move on. Tom Aspinall can move on now from the Jon Jones situation. And I said, now it's hashtag Tom time. You know what I mean? It's his moment, his time to start creating his legacy. And good on him. Let him just be free of the Jon Jones drama and the headache and everything that came with it, and let him move on. I think by the time that Tom's career wraps up, he'll end up being one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. And you can say, well, it's a weak weight class. He needed the Jon Jones. He doesn't need Jon Jones. Would Jon Jones have been a great addition to that win if he was able to get it? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. But Jon Jones is just not motivated to fight him. And you wasted a year and a half, waiting around for him. And you're almost ready to turn into Michael Chandler. And notice how my voice cracked when I said that right there. It was one of those, when I'm watching how this was all playing out, I'm like, man, Tom, just get some wins. Maybe that'll motivate Jon. If you got some wins in that last 2 years or year and a half, instead of waiting around, I think maybe Jon, like there would have been more buzz about it. Jon would have been more motivated about it. But I think him seeing that you're not fighting at all, and he doesn't have enough footage on you. Jon watches tape. He's made it very public. I watch tape. I see how these guys fight. There's not enough tape on you. That maybe is something, I guess you could say, maybe that's something that kind of was like, I kind of bugged him a little bit. No, I'm just not motivated. I don't know enough about him. I want to fight someone that there's a lot of tape on because I've seen enough sample size to where I can exploit this, this, and this. I understand that. I understand. Look, last night I called the fights at Baroka in near Las Vegas. And Juan Archuleta is fighting this kid named Denny Linton. There's not a lot of footage on YouTube of Denny Linton fighting. But Denny Linton's got had, up until last night, one of the longest win streaks outside of a big promotion out there in the smaller shows. But there's still not a lot of footage on him. Juan gets stuck in a bulldog choke last night at like a minute left. And I'm like, oh my God. Because you don't know what this guy's good at. You can only see what had happened. Like some of the YouTube videos I saw of Denny Linton were like from 8 years ago. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I can't get anything from that. And so if you're a Jon Jones and you're like, look, I've seen Tom Aspinall fight, but I've got like a total of 7 minutes or 6 minutes of his footage. That's it. Like, that's not a big enough sample size to see what he'd be good at. And so for Jon, I think he's just, it could be that. The other thing that could, this is something that Alan Jubon brought up on X, and it's a very valid point. Why would I fight knowing that I'm already considered to be the GOAT by most people? Most people consider him the GOAT. Why would I take a chance and lose to Tom Aspinall on heavyweight? And I'm going to be collecting a probably $3 to $5 million check from this class action lawsuit. I literally don't have to work and I get paid. He's going to collect $3 to $5 million. I mean, maybe even more. Maybe even more. But he's going to get a pretty damn big chunk of that money. And when he does, he's got that plus the money he's made from the Cyril Gane fight and from the Stipe fight. I mean, if I'm thinking to myself, he's like, I don't got to train for this guy. Let him fight. And if I want to come back, I'll come back. I mean, that's where I'm at mentally in this situation. It made sense when I started seeing the Jubon thing. Maybe some of that had to do with this. Like, look, I'm just going to collect this check from the class action lawsuit. And then I've already got money saved up I've already got money from the Stipe and the Cyril Gane fight. And then I can just sit back and watch these guys fight. Plus dealing with all this issue that apparently just happened recently, right? Where aggressive female was naked from the waist down. The cops found her in a car. And she said that Jon Jones was driving her and wasn't there anymore. And he had fled the scene. So I'm not this is all just speculation. That's all this is. So, but then she called, I guess apparently she called from her phone, called Jon, and Jon picked up, I guess sounded drunk is what the cops were saying. Then they talked to Jon in person. They talked about, there was mushrooms, there was alcohol, there was whatever involved. And who knows? We're going to see what happens with this. But it would be very, very unfortunate. Another hit and run. He leaves the scene, leaves her there. I mean, this is with a female in the car who's naked from the waist down. He's married with kids. It's just like, come on, man, get out of your own way. What makes you, if this is true, it's all just speculation right now. If this is true, what makes you do stupid shit like this? I mean, is it the money? Because we're seeing dumb shit too on the Conor side. Like we've seen the dumb shit on the Conor side. Is it the money? Is this what the money does?
I truly can't tell you. I can't tell you I would be in any different situation of Jon Jones if I was in his position either. I would pray that I would be making some different decisions, but I was, at 22 years old, being the light heavyweight champion of the world, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, and you see, biologically in his family, mental health is a factor. And, all you can do is pray and hope everything is going well because he's a grown man. His decisions are his decisions, whether it's to be medicated, unmedicated, have support, not have the support. That's Jon. And it's all part of what makes his story his.
Yeah, I think when people are that, I don't want to say alone, but they seem like they're that alone. There's a lot going on. He's got a lot of inner demons that he doesn't know how to deal with. And I don't know what it comes from, but he's got something going on. And, but you still can't deny his talent, his ability. That doesn't make what he's doing outside the cage right. I'm not trying to justify him. Trust me, I'm not. But hey, it is what it is. Is he going to go down as probably being the GOAT or the greatest of all time? Yeah. People are going to sit here and say, well, no, he can't be the GOAT now because he ducked Tom Aspinall. Doesn't mean shit. Because here's the thing. And I've said this before about everybody else. Every other fighter that they've always said should fight one more. There's always going to be the next guy to fight. It doesn't matter. If he beats Tom Aspinall, there'll be one more person for him to fight. They'll make it up. Boy, he never fought Francis Ngannou. And there'll be this whole talk about Francis coming back to the UFC or them fighting PFL and Bell and UFC crossing, and there'll be all that. That'll be drug out forever. Like, there's always going to be one more person for him to fight. Doesn't matter who it is. It just doesn't matter. So if he wants to walk away now, let him walk away. Good. Now we can move on to the hashtag Tom time. This is his moment, his time to create his own legacy. I'm looking forward to that. I'm glad that we're moving on from the Jon Jones era. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but it just hasn't been graceful this last 3 years. It's been a disaster in the heavyweight division. Everyone was excited for him to come to the heavyweight division, see what he could do, dominate. Well, he chose a kickboxer. He fought Cyril Gane for the interim title or for the title or whatever it was, the vacant title. And then he turned around and then he fought, a 42-year-old Stipe. And he waited for Stipe. That's the worst part. Like, he could have fought Tom, and instead he decided to wait for Stipe. Stipe would have still fought him after he fought Tom. It was just a mess. He took the cash and he's running. He'll take the next $5, $6, $8 million from the settlement, and he'll just be cashing out. And hopefully this whole settlement thing with, if this is all speculation with the car crash, it doesn't bite him in the ass. You got to pay that too. So who knows? Sadly, though, one day his kids are going to read the newspaper, and that's going to suck. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to sit up here and speculate anymore, but that sucks. Sucks that it all happened this way, but good for Tom Aspinall. It's your moment, your time. Everyone move on. All the sports writers, everyone else, move on, man. It's done. The announcement's been done. Move on. If he wants to come back, he'll come back. If he wants to. But let's move on. Let's move the sport forward. That's what we need to do. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.